Hey everybody, Fearless Front here with another racing lawnmower update. Pretty much the third in the series here. Today we're going to work on the steering and trying to get a new steering support built and integrate a hood support in it at the same time. So when we last left off with the steering, I had built that hoop support that you see right there, and the more I look at it, the more I realize it really kind of encroaches on my space for the motor. And not only that, but looking at this thing from the side, you can kind of see where it sits, and I really don't like the way it looks so much, to be honest with you. So I've decided I'm going to try to build my own steering bushings to try to support the whole steering system. And the way we're going to do that is I've got these brass bushings, which I got at the hardware store. They're 7/8 inside diameter, which is the same outside diameter as my steering rod right there. And they're 1 inch outside diameter, so that means they fit into a 1 inch pipe. So what I did was I bought these 1 inch by 2 inch steel pipe nipple. It is galvanized, unfortunately. It was all I could find, and I know you're not supposed to weld galvanized, but you know what, sometimes you gotta do what you don't want to do. And it's just a little piece here. But that's the steel nipple, and what we're gonna do here is put these bushings inside these and drill the side, drill a little hole through the side of it right there, and tap it for these little grease fittings. And here's one that's pretty much halfway done. I've got the bushings already in there, and you can see the little space in between the bushings on the inside. That's where my little grease fitting is going to come out once I drill and tap a hole in the side of it. So I'm going to use the 3/4 inch box steel here, and I got some angles cut on either end, and that's going to allow me to run this whole piece at roughly the same angle as this steering support. And then where these things level off on the top, I'm going to run another piece of box steel back and then down back to the frame, and that's going to be what supports the hood. Alright, the upright supports are welded in place. They moved a little bit because of the heat from the welding, so I clamped it back in there so it's square again. The next step I think I'm going to take is welding a cross piece across here that is 11 inches wide, and that's going to be the beginnings of my upper hood support. Upper support is on. Now we're gonna take this new custom bushing thing. I gotta pound these brass pieces out for now. But what's gonna happen here is this is essentially gonna get welded to this upper portion, and that's gonna be the upper support for this upper section of this steering assembly. You can see the brake is right there, so this will be well above that. So you can see our bushing sleeve mounted in there, and I also drilled it, tapped it, and put the grease fitting in the side. It's all welded up there pretty sturdy. You can also see that I've got the rest of the upper hood support welded together. It's just the same box tubing cut at 45-degree angles on all corners, so I don't have any open ends of the pipe here. So the next thing we're going to do is build the upright supports from there down to there. So we got both our pieces of metal cut here for our upright supports. You can see there's like a double bevel angle on these, just so I can achieve two angles at the same time, both going in and forward towards the hood. And on the other side here you can see I've notched out for the upper support for the steering. Alright, so as you can see, the two back supports are now tack welded in. You can see the slight inward angle on both sides, very slight, and there's a little bit more of a forward angle. And like I said, they're all just tack welded in there right now, but it looks pretty good. So we're going to test fit the hood and see if I can weld this thing all up. So here you can see the hood fits pretty well. Everything, the angles all line up kind of how I wanted them to. This is going to be pushed forward a little bit more. It's not perfect yet, but you get the idea. And actually this is going to be up here more like this. But I'm gonna weld all these upper pieces that I just tack welded together. I'm gonna weld them fully together and test fit the steering with the new bushings. So they're all welded into place. Spent a lot of quality time there with the grinder getting all these ends closed off and looking real good here. Cleaned up all the welds. Clean those ones up even. Down front here. Next thing we're going to do here is pound the new bushings in and test fit the steering to make sure everything still lines up. Alright, so to mount these brass bushings inside these galvanized steel nipples, or whatever they're called here, you can see here that they're really kind of a loose fit. So what we're going to do here to make these things stick in there is sort of mar the edges. You can see I've already done a little bit to that one. But what I basically am doing here is taking a flat-headed screwdriver or a steel pick or something like that, a chisel, and a hammer, and I'm basically just tapping these edges kind of hard and bending in these little tabs that will, the metal will bend in as you hit it, and it will cause these little things to get fetched up. As you can see now, that's kind of a difficult fit. So what we're going to do is slowly tap this little guy in here now that these edges are all marred, and it should fit in there perfectly. There. That thing is not going to just fall out of there now. So now I just got to do the bottom one and we'll reassemble the steering. So first we're going to put the lower steering rod in, and that still fits right in. There. So it fits together really well. Quite surprised everything lined up. Usually that's not my luck. But we've got a grease fitting there for the upper bushing. And we've got another one down there for the lower, where that one goes into. And everything seems to work really well here. It's a little squeaky and stiff because there's no grease in anything, it's just metal on metal. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I'm gonna try to test fit it now with the hood and see how it looks. Gotta get everything lined up here. There. Works pretty nice, I tell you what. Looks good too. It's got a lot of space. It's very strong. And I'll have plenty of room for my engine under there too. So yeah, out with the old steering support here. I thought it was awesome at the time, but I guess we've moved on to bigger and better things. Alright guys, so that's pretty much the update for today. I'll leave this video off by showing you some cool stuff to get you all excited for the next video, because that's what it's all about, right? But yeah, anyways, we're just test fitting the engine here inside the racing cart, and it looks like it fits really good underneath. Obviously the gas tank is still on there, so this thing's going to slide up like up to here more. But it's in there and it's got space, which is pretty cool. I'm pretty happy about that. The other thing I wanted to show you, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself a little bit, but I'm already thinking about tires and wheels and clearances for that stuff. So in my travels I came across a really good deal on a nice set of tires and jumped on them at the chance. And they are right here. They just came in the mail. They're little Dunlops. I believe the back is an 11 by 650 by 5-inch rim. And these are pretty cool little tires. You can see kart racing for racing purposes only, so these should be good at highway speeds. Yellow lettering on them. I'm going to try to do the yellow letters out on the kart. And yeah, those tires are pretty awesome, and I think they should look pretty cool on that little go-kart. But that's pretty much it, you guys. Thanks for watching the video. Rate it up if you liked it. Tell me what you think of the new parts and how everything's going so far, and we'll see you next time.